Yo, what is going on, real lovers? It's your man Jay Immanuel, and we are back with another exclusive Right to Real Love video. Today, I got the one and only my man Kelvin Troy Johnson joining me on the podcast. What's going on with you, man?
What's going on, Jay Immanuel out here doing it? I'm glad to be here, brother.
Oh man,
Like,
I'm excited to be here. Yo, the people they didn't know this, but I'm gonna let them know. Like it took some time for us to get here. I know this is gonna be a hot discussion because I promise you, we were supposed to start recording like an hour ago, and
right.
however, whether people want to call it the enemy or whether the powers that be, whatever it may be, they tried to stop us, but we here. We got a great discussion. It's one that I know people have been waiting for. But can you just let them know a little bit about yourself? I know you in Atlanta, holding it down, dating a relationship coach. You an author, a
Yes.
speaker. Like you the man out there.
I'm, I'm just exercising the gift, brother. But I really appreciate you having me on your show. I'm actually a fan of your show. I've
I
checked out
appreciate that.
quite a few episodes, and you guys get it in. So, but I'm Kelvin Troy Johnson. I'm a dating and relationship coach, known as the Love Coach of Atlanta. I help singles centered successful women to find successful men for dating, relationships, and love. And my background comes from the social work background, work with
Oh,
males
nice.
for 17 years, heard
Wow.
all the secrets, all the reasons, and I just spill my guts here on social media.
Oh man, I love that. And we're coming here to talk about a topic that I know the women want to hear more about. And they definitely want to hear a man's perspective on it. And that is why men want and cannot resist feminine women. Now, you did an amazing video on your channel about it, and it's what inspired this discussion. We're going to dive even deeper into it. And I just want to kick things off by asking you this. Do you think most women truly understand how much men value a feminine woman?
I don't think that they do, and for good reason. Jay, femininity has been seen as weakness in our modern
Mm,
time, right?
mm,
It's been seen as something you don't want to be, right?
mm.
Independent, all my ladies, independent, right? Right?
Right.
That has become the thing to be, right?
Right.
And
Right.
while we celebrate our strong women of all of women of faith, and
Mhm.
we celebrate that, right? We want you to be
Right.
strong, and it's what we tell our daughters to be, right? But
Yes.
once upon a time, Jay, mothers taught their daughters also how to be feminine.
That's
They
right.
they they once upon a time, women sent their daughters off to college to get their
Mhm.
BA, but make sure you get your MRS, right? Because
That's right. That's right.
they understood the power of getting and being with the right man.
Mhm.
I talk about this. I said, when you think about how
Mhm.
men choose women differently than how women choose men.
That right there. That right there, man. That is something that I've had countless conversations with women, whether it be women in my Bible study, women in my friend circle, or just women
Mhm.
that are a part of our real love community. And
Yeah.
I try to convey that to them is that one of the biggest misunderstandings that I identify within a lot of these women is the fact that they think men and women approach dating, relationships, choosing a partner the same way. And we don't.
No,
And if you
don't.
don't recognize that there's a difference, it puts you at a disadvantage. So I just wanted to highlight what you're saying is 100% true.
No, no, it's definitely true. Men choose the woman. The timing has to be first. The woman is second. You
Mm.
know, the time. Look, if the when this man and we talk about people who want long term relationships, and we're not just
Right.
talking about we know we just gonna hang out for a little while and see how things go. I'm
Right.
talking about people who are when that guy decides, you know what, I'm ready to settle down, and I don't want to be a playboy. I don't want to be a player no more.
Mhm.
Just y'all know the rest.
Yes.
But and he really decides, right? The
Mhm.
timing's got to be right, and then he chooses the woman in the timing.
Mhm.
When the timing in his life is right, meaning his money is right, meaning
Right.
his position in life where he's going is right.
Right.
Okay, then he's going to choose the woman who's right in his
Mhm.
timing. But for
Yeah, that's
women,
real.
women is the reverse. Like women
Right.
choose the man first and don't really worry about the timing. right? Because Jay, they know if you get the right man,
Mhm.
the time gonna be right.
Mm,
You know, the
oh,
time
that's real.
everything else gonna be taken care of if you got the
Mhm.
right guy who has his stuff in order. So
Right, right. That's real. That is a great point. Now, I want to go back to something that you said, which is femininity and independence seem to be on, two separate ends of the spectrum. But my
yes.
question is, can they be mutually exclusive to some degree? Can a woman be independent and at the same time be feminine?
Man, listen, that's the great match. That's the beautiful match right there, right?
Right.
I think it can happen, but
Mhm.
it has to be done on a conscious level first,
Mm.
right?
What does that look like?
Because when if she's winning at work and like she's a
Mhm.
killer at work, you know, she's doing deals at work,
Right.
she's talking that
The
talk and
lioness out
directing.
there.
Yes, sir. She's directing traffic and everybody's, you know, following her lead and she's doing all
Mhm.
those things. Um, that's what she has to do in
Right.
her position, right?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
when you come home, you got a new position. When you know,
Mm.
when you turn the lights off in your office and you get in the car,
Right.
you got a new position. You might have mom, right?
Mhm.
And them kids, they don't care about nothing that you did from 9 to 5.
Nah, they don't. They
You
don't.
know, they then you might have that man that's in your life, and you
Mhm.
know, he's going to care what you did for 9 to 5, but he's mostly going to be caring about
Mhm.
how you make him feel, and reverse. You're going to care
Right.
about how he makes you feel, you know,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
for the most part, many men enjoy are just very attracted to the femininity of a woman. Thousands
Nah,
of
that's real.
years, bro.
Right.
Thousands of years. Look, wars have been fought for the love of a
Right.
woman. You know, men
Right.
have climbed hills, swam seas, right? All for the
Facts.
love of a woman and for to be a part of her, just to be in her energy and in her essence. So when you know how to capture that,
Mhm. Mhm.
turn it on when it need to turn on, turn
Right.
it off when you need to turn it off. Boom,
Mhm.
that's the game.
Nah, that's real. That's real. Yeah. So I want to be clear. You are saying that a woman can be both feminine and independent. However, the caveat, and let me know if I'm wrong. The caveat is the femininity should always be turned on, whereas the independence may need to be dialed back when she's in the presence of her man and operating, outside of the confines of work. Is that essentially what you were saying, or did I miss that?
It I believe they both need to be able to be managed.
Okay. Okay.
They
So
both
let,
need to
with
be
that
managed.
with that in mind, where is or when is a time when a woman would dial back the
Mhm.
femininity from your perspective?
At work,
Okay. Okay.
when it's time to kill them,
Okay.
when it's time to slay them dragons, you know, and being
Yeah.
able to step up and in her confidence. Now, I'm not talking
Mhm.
about being rude and being like, you know,
Right.
being crazy like that. We just talking about really just a person being able to say what it is and lead the troops that she's
Mhm.
assigned to do,
Right.
right?
Nah, that's real.
And if you talk to most women don't want to be the leader and leading the troops at home and at
Mm,
work and in
mhm.
the like they would like to have a place where they can pull back
Right.
and allow somebody else to take the lead and to take the front. You know what I mean? So
Nah,
that's
I
when it
hear
works.
that.
That's when it
I
works.
hear that. So let's get to the heart of the matter, right? The
Mhm.
women want to know, why do men value femininity so much? What is it that we like about a feminine woman?
Man, it's everything, buddy. look, look, it's everything. So what I have in my study, right?
Mhm.
And I've done these. My background comes from these sessions that
Mhm.
I've done for many years with men, right?
Okay.
And as I
What
listen
better
to them,
place?
yeah. As I listen to the men and I hear what they desire, right?
Mhm.
Most men desire to feel more masculine, right?
Mm. Okay.
So whatever a woman can do that makes him feel more masculine, he
Mhm.
actually becomes more attracted to her because of how she makes him feel, right?
Mm.
Uh,
Okay.
and 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 feeling more masculine, meaning that could mean physical strength, that could mean
Mhm.
emotional strength, that could mean him being in his place, doing the thing that he signed up to do, right?
Mhm.
So the femininity piece, it doesn't have to be so over the top. It could just
Mm.
be like, you know what, baby, I love when you cut my steak,
Mm.
right? I love when you open doors for me. I love the way that you step in front of me when that guy was coming up to ask me for some money or something,
Mhm.
and he saw you and you stepped in front, and
Mhm.
I felt protected,
Right.
right? That may sound like such a small thing, and
Mhm.
most of this is small things, right?
Mhm.
But it's
Mhm.
those small little bricks that makes a man feel like, wow, I feel more like a man when I'm around her.
Mhm.
If you can make me feel more like a man, and look, you're
Mhm.
not even just I'm not you're not, this isn't an act, right?
Mhm.
This is just
Mhm.
you acknowledging probably what I'm already just doing. So this,
Right.
so Jay, this talk right here is something that somebody can go from this talk right here and
Mhm.
apply it immediately to
Right.
their relationship.
Yeah.
Just
And that's what we're
noticing
all
the things.
about.
Yeah, noticing
Yes.
those things, the little things that the person does. Now
Mhm.
what I get to push back on the other side, Jay, to say, well, 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 what about me? Everything is, what about me? Why
Right.
do I have to do all the acknowledging and making him feel good? And when's he gonna
Mhm.
make me feel good? Listen,
Yeah.
um, we'll just assume that it just
Mhm.
makes sense for him to make
Mhm.
you feel good
Mhm.
as he feels more masculine
Right.
to do more of that thing that you just acknowledged. It's positive reinforcement,
Right.
right? He'll
And
do more of that.
I may be wrong, but the way that I look at it is if a woman is truly attracted to a man, she wants to do those things. So
Mm.
when you the narrative that you just shared that some women take and they be like, well, what about them? I feel like that's typically applied to men that they're not truly attracted to. Because if
Mm.
a woman is truly attracted to a man, all of those little things become just that. They're little things. Like it's not work for her to go and just be feminine and allow him to operate in that masculine energy. I think to your point, and you mentioned it earlier, and you made a great point, which is women are concerned with finding the right man. And I think that oftentimes when we're having these conversations, people are
Mhm.
speaking very general and we
Mhm.
don't really hone in on the fact that most women are just looking at things from the general population of men. The general
Mhm.
population of men, they ain't trying to cut his steak. They're not trying to, point out the fact that he opened the door or protected her, right?
Right.
But if the right man is doing those things,
Mhm.
oh, she will take notice. She will
Absolutely.
understand that, it's not work for her to operate within her femininity. And that's just my perspective. I think that we often talk about it in general terms. And when you do that, it's difficult because what you will do for the few or that one man is not
Mhm.
what you're going to be doing for every man. And I
Correct.
think that women are often speaking in terms of, well, I ain't doing all of that for every man.
Mhm.
But if we hone in and just say, well, what if you find that right man that you attracted to him, you sexually attracted to him, he's the guy
Mhm.
that does it for you. You like, yo, that's your quote unquote one, right?
Mhm.
Is it really that difficult for you to do those things that we're talking about? And I
Mm.
personally believe it's not. I think that it's more difficult when a woman is trying to apply or think of herself doing that for every man or
Right.
the men that she's seeing that to her they ain't the right one, so I'm
Right.
not doing that for him. What's your
Right.
take on
Right.
that? I just want to get your thoughts. That's just me kind of throwing my thoughts out there.
Yeah, yeah, no, you totally on it, and you just reminded me of one of my clients, right?
Okay.
She was an older woman, but she's single. She's one of these high powered women. Runs her own company. She had all the stuff, house, car,
Mhm.
retirement. She's got all the stuff, but doesn't have a man. right?
Mm,
And
mhm,
and she couldn't
mhm.
figure out why she couldn't lay hold of the man. And so what I taught her was literally like like femininity 101, right?
Okay.
The thing that women used to just kind of natural like it was a normal thing. And
Mhm.
she knew some of the things that I was talking about in the back of her head. But
Mm,
when you're exposed to the fist and to the all about the empowerment and
right.
independent woman, you start
Mhm.
forgetting what
Right.
has worked for thousands of years.
It's
So Jay,
dormant.
yeah, so Jay, here's what I told her. I said, this
Okay.
this guy, this guy
Mhm.
that you're going out with, um, um, in a couple nights. I said, tell him to bring you something,
Mm,
bring you a gift,
mhm.
right? Now, I had a specific way I told her to tell him how to bring the
Okay.
gift, right?
Okay.
The gift doesn't have to be big, don't have to be outrageous, but
Mhm.
have him bring
Mhm.
you something. Matter of fact,
Okay.
you can just say a red pen, and he could be like,
Mm.
a red pen. What do you want? Don't worry about it. Just bring me a red pen, right? Is it about now? Somebody gonna say, well, why a red pen? I don't know. I just made it up, right? Right. The point is, um, part a major part of this femininity game is
Mhm.
a woman receiving.
That right there. That right there. That right there,
Woman
Kelvin.
receiving.
Kelvin, like that is exactly what I'm trying to convey to the women here at Right to Real Love, right? I already told them, even though a lot of women are going to be drawn to these discussions and these conversations, I know that only about 10% of women are going to be able to get immediate impact from the things that
That's
we're
true.
talking about.
That's the truth.
And
That's the
it's
truth.
because they meet three main criteria. Number one on that list is being receptive to listening
Mhm,
to men. Being receptive, more importantly, when it comes to Right to Real Love, is listening to men discuss women, dating, and relationships. If you are
mhm,
not receptive to that, then
mhm.
it doesn't matter how many gems Kelvin is dropping. It doesn't matter how many gems we're dropping when you come and tune in and listen to our discussions and all of the live shows and the content that we're putting out. Because without that receptiveness, it's
Yes.
falling on deaf ears. You have to
Yes.
first get to a place where you are willing to say, you know what? I'm receptive to listening to men.
Yes.
Now, I will say this in all fairness, right? There are a lot of men that are speaking today publicly
Stop.
and they're
Wait a minute,
directing
Jay.
messages to,
Wait a minute. Jay, stop right
you know what I'm
there.
about to say?
Stop. I do know what you want to say. But listen, Jay, that is not true.
What's
What
that?
was
Well,
was
well, hold on. What do you think I'm about to say? What do you think I'm about to say?
just that part. I need to time out you right there when
Okay.
you say that there's a lot of men speaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, the majority of people who talk about dating, relationships, and love are women.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Mm-hmm.
why when you hear men talking about it, it
Mm-hmm.
stands out.
Mm-hmm.
Because for all these years, for many years, the only people, if you go to social work, the only people talking, the only people, social work is like 85% women.
Okay.
Therapists are like 85% women. Like couples there, like anybody who's talking about dating, talk about relationships, talking about love,
Mm-hmm.
it's like 85% women, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
small percentage of men who are talking about it. And
Mm-hmm.
so there's a small percentage of us online who are talking
Mm-hmm.
about it, which makes it blow up.
Right.
So that's what
Right.
that's why it seems like there's a lot of men talking about this
Mm-hmm.
stuff, but in general, men still don't talk about dating,
Right.
don't talk about feelings, don't talk about relationships, and
Mm-hmm.
so you get what you get.
Nah, you're right. You're right. So I say I'll retract that because I'm very mindful of my words. So I will retract this statement of a lot of men. And let
Mhm,
me just say that there are men
mhm.
online who are talking
Yes.
about relationships. And the point that I was going to make is that women are listening to these men from meaning like they hear them. Like they'll
Mhm,
click on the video, they'll hear
mhm,
what these men are saying,
mhm,
but because of the delivery in which some of these men are using, the women are not receptive. Like the
mm,
women are not receptive. And that's the thing. You can be giving them gems. You can
mhm,
be stating things that they need to hear. It can be things that if they applied it would actually work, would actually produce the results that they desire. But if the person isn't receptive to the message,
mhm.
then it's not going to be effective. And that's the only thing that I wanted to point out is that
Yes.
we have to address that first. And that's one of the main things that I'm trying to do with Right to Real Love, is recognizing the fact that I have to deliver these messages. My guests that I
Mhm.
bring on, I want the messages to be delivered in a way where women will be receptive to them, so
Yeah.
that the gems and the amazing things that you guys have to share will actually take root. A
Yeah.
seed can actually be planted. They may not take immediate action on it, right? I think only that 10% of women that I talked about will be the ones that can immediately extract that gem, like you said earlier, and then be like, "Oh, I'm about to go put that into action like right now." After I
Yes.
just heard Kelvin say it, I'm about to go do it.
Yes.
Let me go make that happen. But
Yes.
a lot of women are not there. It takes them time, and that's fine as
Yeah,
long as
man.
we have them receptive. I think that that's the key. But nah, man, you were definitely on point, and I appreciate you for pointing that out, because
Yeah.
I didn't think about it that way. If I'm being honest, I didn't look at the
Mhm.
big picture of therapists, social workers, those people who have been speaking into women when it comes to relationships are primarily women. That's a great point.
Mhm.
Great point.
Yes, yes, yes. And so also now going back to the whole receptive thing,
Yes.
and the whole asking, because somebody's like, I hope he get back to that
Yeah,
get
yeah.
back to that
I
point
took
of
I took us off
asking.
course a little bit.
It's all
I
right.
thank you, Kevin, for bringing us back.
You good. You good. Look, so now the reason now somebody wants to know, well, why did I tell her to have that guy to bring her a gift? The
Mhm.
idea
The red
is
pen.
the red pen. The red pen represents him starting the process with giving, and
Mm,
and you starting the process with receiving.
okay.
Okay, he has to be the giver first. He has to be the person who says, "Will you go out on a date with me?" He has to
Mm,
be the person who says, "Can I have your number?
mhm,
Can I call you?" Look, before a person gets into a relationship, there are a lot of yeses that happen, right?
mhm,
You're at
mhm,
the grocery store,
mhm.
and y'all both at the apples, looking, checking out he's checking out the pink ladies. Okay, you checking out the Honey Crisp, and my man says, "Hey, what do you think of these Honey Crisps? Have you ever tasted these?" You say,
Mhm.
"Yeah, I love those. Those are my favorites." Having a good conversation about apples. And you know what? You shop here often? Yeah, I come here about once a week. I never seen you here. I would have noticed you. So, I would have checked you
Right.
out. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm very good going, but I really enjoy getting to meet you. Can I
Mhm.
have your number?
Right. Right.
Right. That if she says yes, that's yes number one. Right.
Mm,
Can I take you out?
mhm,
Yes. Can
mhm,
can I like it's all of these propositions,
mhm, mhm. Hey,
proposition, right?
can I can
And
I can I ask you a quick question?
what? Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, not like, because I want to play on what you were talking about, the receptiveness, right?
Yes.
And we know when you get ready to make that number exchange, there's two ways, right? The man can ask her for her number, or if
Mhm.
you play to what you were just saying, here's my number.
Yeah. Yes.
And then you play on that principle of reception. He's giving something, and then
Yes.
we can immediately see if she's willing to receive
If
his
she's
phone number.
willing to
Now I get
receive.
the whole point of him
Yes.
having her number and doing that, but
Yes.
just to get that yes, that receptiveness, opening that door with that gift immediately. That's all I thought. That's all.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, you good. And so what I believe is that a man has to do the giving first. I would on my TikTok, I get a lot of women asking me, well, how do I get him to be a giver? How do I get a man to be more of a giver towards me? And I said, by starting the process with giving, right?
Mm,
Yes, it is okay for you to be a giver. Some women say, I'm such a giver. I fall into these people. These guys be using me. Well, wait a minute. That's because your position, your feminine position, is to receive first and then to give, right? You are biologically created to receive first and then you give life, right? You receive a seed and then you give life from the seed that you've been planted. So I think it's the same way even in the exchange, right?
mhm,
If that guy brings you a pen, he brings you the thing that you asked for, right? That means a couple things. That means he was listening to you. That means he was
Mhm.
engaged with you. That means you had his attention, right?
Right.
And he can follow instructions. Okay. My
Mhm.
man show up and then he's more likely to show up with the pen because he's intrigued.
Mm.
And I'm telling you, listen, all the ladies, they were like, why do we have to play these games? How come he can't just like me for me? Listen, the game of love is a game. And and for a man to do all, because we say the women are the prize, right? And that's, people been kind of playing with that a little bit. To me, Jay, I say the women are the prize.
Okay.
Let them be the prize, right? But who is the chooser of the prize?
Mm.
So would you rather be the chooser of the prize? You could go, look at that. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm picking the one, that I want. You're right. You're the you get the glorious position of being the chooser of the prize. You can choose
Mm.
whatever prize you want, right? And
Mhm.
so as long as they're there, right, and as long as you're in that position of receiving first, learn how to be a comfortable receiver, saying thank you, letting the person know, hey, I appreciate you, essentially appreciating me.
Mhm.
We don't even know how powerful it is, because most men, I talk to these men, and a lot of men tell me they don't feel appreciated, and that's something that
Mm.
women can do just like that.
Wow.
But making sure that you are a open receiver and
Mhm.
encouraging him to be a giver, it makes it
Mhm.
work. I'm telling you, it makes it work.
Right. And I think that that's a feminine quality as well because it takes a woman being willing to ask a man to give her something, right? And going back to what you're talking about, the fist, right?
Hmm.
It's difficult because when you on independence, what do you not want to do? You don't want to depend on people. You don't want to ask
Hmm.
people for things.
Hmm.
And that is a part of that conditioning that has that programming that has to be rewritten. It's nothing wrong with a woman asking a man for something.
Right.
And to your point, that is a way of displaying femininity. It is a way
Hmm.
of showing that she is receptive to receiving from that particular man. So that's really good. That's really good.
Yeah.
So the next place I want to go, we got to talk about this because it comes up. I would be remiss not to address it.
Mm.
There's always this conversation about masculine versus feminine, especially when it comes to women. So let's talk about it.
Okay.
When men say that a woman is masculine or
Hmm.
operating in masculine energy or
Hmm.
she's acting masculine,
Hmm.
as a man, what does that mean? Help the ladies to understand. What are we saying or what are men saying when they say that a woman is being masculine or acting masculine?
Yeah. When a guy says a woman is acting masculine, what he's saying is, you are in my place, you're in my space, and I'm now having to compete with you for my space. I'll give you an example. I
Please.
know somebody that drives like Uber and one of those sort of things, right?
Mhm.
And the guy says, I noticed that when, let's say, uh, there's a group of people there, right?
Mhm.
Four people getting in, four people getting in, and there's a back seat, and then there's a front seat. And the man said, "Yeah, you can sit in the front seat." Generally, women will be like, if the guy, "Hey, guy, go sit in the front seat with the guy," right? Jay, there are some women who would jump in the front seat and put the man in the back seat
Mm,
to sit in the back seat, and it's on a subconscious level of emasculation, as if
mm,
to say, like, your place is, I got this. So everywhere where you say I got this, and there's a man in that position who should be saying I got this, who shouldn't even have to say I got this.
mhm.
The place is there, right?
Okay.
It's there. Being argumentative
Mm,
is
mhm,
masculine.
mhm.
The feminine states her position and
Mhm.
can sit back and relax and say, "This is oh no, that right there is not acceptable. That's not acceptable for me.
Mhm.
I'm not doing that." And
Mhm.
you rest, right? Now, if you're in
Mhm.
my face trying to tell me what to do, right?
Right. Mhm.
That's masculine.
Mhm.
That's masculine
Mhm.
energy who that's combative. If anytime you're combative,
Mm.
you are
That right there.
operating in masculine energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Men fight,
Mhm.
right? Men, women, a feminine woman would
Mhm.
never be up in a
Mhm.
man's face and ready to do battle. So
Right.
no, she just state, hey, this is what I'm doing.
Mhm.
This is my position. Boom,
Right.
take it or leave it.
Right. So give us two examples in your own personal experience where you've encountered a masculine woman, maybe a woman that you were in relationship with, or maybe a woman that you just met outside of relationship, so that we can kind of see what those situations look like.
Okay. I'll give you a good one, right?
Okay.
Um, my wife,
Okay.
right?
Shout out to
Shout out
her.
to her, my wife, right? She grew up in a household in an abusive
Mm,
household with an abusive
okay.
father, right?
Okay.
She grew up in
Hmm.
an environment where she had to do battle. Like she had
Mm,
like it was abusive and to the point that she got a little older and she was like, okay, so we gonna square up. I guess we gonna square up, you
okay.
know?
Okay.
And she used to square up with her father, like fist to
Mm,
fist, fist to cuffs, like pop, pop,
wow.
pop, right?
Wow. Wow.
And that was the environment that she grew up in.
Hmm.
And so what she struggled with was for me, like I'm not no we not I'm not fighting you for you, right?
You're like, yo, I ain't here to squabble.
I'm not here to squabble. I'm here to love, I'm here to kiss and love.
Right.
I'm not here for those squabbles, right? But she was attracted to that calm,
Mm,
easy demeanor, that
mhm,
welcoming kind of thing that she
mhm.
really wanted from her father,
Okay. Okay.
right? And
Yes.
that but that took a long
Mhm.
time for me to
Right.
understand because I could see like all her beautiful qualities. I could
Mhm.
see that desire to want to connect with the masculine,
Right.
and be able to rest in her feminine. But she been scrapping her whole life,
Right.
and then look, I watched her life, and even in
Mhm.
her regular life, it's like she
Mhm.
got to fight for everything, right?
Mm,
Now those
right.
early days taught her that
Mhm.
she could fight, that
Right.
she didn't have to lay down and take abuse or take things that wasn't right for her,
Mhm. Mhm.
but she had to learn how to dial that thing back if
Right.
this thing was ever going to work together,
Yeah.
and so it's not easy, man. I'm not saying
Mm,
that this stuff is easy,
no.
but when you become conscious of it and you realize, uh-oh,
Mhm.
I'm getting ready to lose on something that I really wanted.
Right.
I really wanted to make it work. Then you
Yeah.
start making those adjustments, and that's what she has
Mhm.
done to make those adjustments.
So, if you feel comfortable sharing, what's an example of when that argumentativeness, that combativeness arose and you as a man had to address it?
Oh man, um, I can think there are quite a few situations.
Your choice, man.
Yeah, no, no. We have just in dealing with where how the children would be raised and
Okay.
where the
Okay.
children go to school, and
Mhm.
her thinking, desiring one thing and I'm desiring a different thing, and how we're
Mhm.
going to make it all work. So
Right.
here's how we made it work:
Okay.
compromise.
Mm.
I'm not going to win all the battles, she's
Mhm.
not going to win all the battles,
Right.
you know
Right.
and we had to figure out what is the point
Mhm.
that we
Mhm.
both want from this situation.
Right. Right. And can I ask you this question? With you being a married man,
Mhm.
do you consider them battles? Kind of going back to like the whole argumentative combative piece, right? Does that kind of play into it if we perceive them as battles as opposed to us coming together to make a decision? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not married, so like, how do you perceive? Is it like more like a battle, or is it
It
more of
can be.
we're making a decision? Okay, it can be. Okay,
Hey, it
depends
Jay,
on what it is. He like, yo,
depending on
depends
what
on
it
what it
is,
is.
it could be. Um, but you just try to ask yourself, is this the
Mhm.
hill you ready to die on?
Mm, yeah,
Is it really that important?
got
And
you.
then the longer you live, the longer you realize most of this junk ain't that important.
Right,
You
right.
know what I mean? This
Mhm,
is most of these we really haven't hit
mhm.
a hill that's really worth dying for,
Right,
dying on.
yeah,
And if we do, then we'll know that and we'll address that. But
most definitely.
yeah.
So, can you speak to why men are turned off by masculine women or women who
Oh
act
man,
masculine? Why is that
yeah.
a turn off for men?
The turnoff happens um, because look, not to mention, look, the fact that men sometimes don't know where to go
Mhm.
if you're in his space.
Mm,
He
okay.
doesn't know how to operate if you're in his space,
Mhm,
right? And
mhm.
so he's gotta figure out, well, wait a minute. And some of the guys, the men that I've talked to, they're not going to fight a woman for space in her life,
No,
right? They're not
no,
going to fight for it. They're going to say, "Hey,
no.
listen, if you don't have a space for me,
Mhm,
that's totally fine.
mhm.
Down the
And
street, there is a
mhm,
space,
right.
and many of those guys will make that move."
And to that point, I feel like oftentimes when women encounter mature men,
Mhm.
they're the ones that will leave. They will just leave
Mm.
the situation, as you mentioned, where once he identifies there's no place, no space for me, he leaves.
Yeah. Leave.
However, where I think we see a lot of toxic relationships evolve is when those men decide that they're going to do battle, like two rounds, like
Mm.
we're going to fight for this
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
And a mature man understands that, nah,
No.
like she's
No.
not receptive to
No.
being willing to step off that square and recognize that that's where I have to stand in this relationship that I'm willing and wanting to build and formulate with a woman. I just wanted to
Yeah.
point that out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's totally true. And I can remember being a young man and in
Mhm.
relationships, and I would argue with
Mm,
with a
mhm,
woman. I would argue. I would
mhm.
because I wanted her. When I'm arguing, I really was saying, "Listen to me. I want
Mm,
to be
right.
heard."
Don't say
Right?
calm down though. I've
I'm
learned
saying,
no,
calm
that right
down,
there will make them
calm
ready to
down,
squabble.
right?
Yo, don't
No.
I've learned don't say that. Like women told me that word is like pressing, the nuclear strike button. Like, yo, war
Yeah.
has officially begun.
Yes, yes, yes. But the thing is, everybody really wants to be heard,
Right.
and
Right.
sometimes people start getting angry, upset,
Mhm,
and doing battle that way because
mhm.
they really want to be heard.
Yeah.
And
And you know the
so
challenge with that, right, Kelvin?
mm,
The challenge with that is most people in general are not good listeners.
no,
That
no,
that's the real issue. It's not that neither person it doesn't want to, help out or do the other thing. It's just that we struggle with listening. Listening
yeah,
is really something that we have to work at becoming an
yeah,
active, even myself, like I've been podcasting and doing this stuff over 10 years and I still struggle in certain conversations to really just listen and not be thinking of what I want to say or, so my mind
mhm,
wandering off somewhere else. It really takes work to be an active
yeah,
listener. It does.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Everybody's tuned in to their favorite radio station, WIIFM.
Right.
What's in it for me?
That's right.
What's
That's
in it for
right.
me? So it could be tough.
That's real. Any other reasons why men are turned off by that type of energy from women, masculine energy?
Yeah. Men are turned off by the masculine energy in a woman, sometimes even out of fear,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Out of fear that if she's mounting up in the masculine position,
Mhm.
that diminishes my masculine position.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
to the people who are watching, I'm looked at as a uh, less of a man,
Mhm.
a wuss,
Mhm.
you know, all the names,
All
henpecked,
those names, right?
all the
All of
names, right? Right?
them.
And sometimes that is that guy who really doesn't want to argue, so he just
Mhm.
lets her have her way. And
Mm,
people say, "Man, why don't you say something to her? Why don't you?"
right.
But he might be picking his battles back at the house
Mhm.
and decided, you know what, it's not worth it. And so
It's
now,
real.
when a man says that,
Mhm.
you're actually in trouble. When a man says, it's not worth it,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
could be in trouble. Sometimes it's good for him to just say it's not worth it because it's not worth it.
Mhm. Yeah.
But if a man says it too many times,
Mhm.
he is slowly pulling away.
Mm.
Jay, I did a video one time on my YouTube
Mhm.
channel. Did a video called "Why Do Men Pull Away?" You
Mm.
know, and
Mhm.
I talked about that. You know, when a man starts feeling less of a man,
Mhm.
when the emasculation begins,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
When she makes him feel small,
Mhm.
starts pulling away,
Right.
starts
Right.
pulling away,
Mhm.
and before you know it, he's so far away from you, you no
Yeah.
longer feel his presence, and
Mhm.
then you get the letter
Yeah.
in the mail saying we finished.
And check this out too, Kelvin. This is the way I look at it. The man himself is pulling away, and whether the
Mhm.
woman realizes it or not, she's pulling away.
Yes.
The more this man is operating in feminine energy, because I mean, it's only one or two ways to go. He's either opting more masculine in this relationship
Yeah.
or more feminine.
Yeah.
She's going to be, without even recognizing it, she's drawn away. She wake up
Yes.
one day and like, why he ain't cute no more? Why am I
Yeah.
not attracted to him? It's
Sure.
the fact that he's been emasculated, and even
Sure.
the masculine woman doesn't want a feminine man.
Right.
Like that. That's the caveat.
It's
That's
the
the
truth.
rub.
The truth. It's the truth. And then she'll be more receptive to homeboy at work who tell her how good she look every day with
Mhm,
his big deep voice and
mhm.
flirting with her every day.
Yeah, the one she
And
can't walk over. Yep.
next thing you
The one
know,
that make up his own mind. She like then she
yeah,
start finding that stuff, all this stuff that she took away from the man she was with. Now she like, yo, that's what
isn't
drew
that
you to
funny?
him.
Isn't
But
that
then it's
funny?
like, once you got him, then you like, nah,
Hmm.
he got to conform to me. But then you didn't like you. We know they talk about building a man, creating a man. Like you
Hmm.
didn't build and fashion this man into what you wanted, and because he allowed himself to be molded, now you like, that's not even what really
Yeah,
drew me to him.
yeah,
I don't really like that.
right, right.
Yeah, it's tripped
It, it,
out.
it
It's tripped out.
happens. It definitely
Yeah.
happens. And
Like
so
artists
so
say, stop working on it. At some point, you got to stop working on the painting or the sculpture, right? You just got to let it be. Like you got to stop tweaking it, trying to change it. Like as an artist, once it's up in the gallery, they're not like, "Yo, can you let me in there?" Something else just came. No, go draw something else.
yeah, 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 yeah. I like that example. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that. One of the things I've been talking about Jay, is
Mhm.
something that I heard. We talk about masculine and feminine, but we also talk about like uh, the person into center and the person that's the frame. Uh,
Mm,
Halle Berry once talked about this. I heard her
mm,
say after she got divorced from Eric Benet, she said one of the reasons why our relationship didn't work is because in a relationship, somebody's got to be the picture and somebody's got to be the frame.
mm,
She said two
mhm.
pictures don't work because there's no support, there's no accent. It's just a
Mhm.
picture. Now they're nice pictures. The Mona Lisa is a very nice picture, maybe,
Mhm.
but it's if the Mona Lisa is inside of one of them dollar store frames,
Right,
then you'd be like,
right,
well, how much is that worth? Right?
right,
You'd be
right.
like, that's not the Mona Lisa. That's not the $1 million painting,
Right,
because you wouldn't put
right,
$1 million painting in a dollar store frame.
right,
And
right.
and some people have not identified the how the two go together. Are
Mhm,
you if you're a super picture, if you're a Mona Lisa, you have to find yourself in a frame with somebody who is confident,
mhm.
happy, successful at being the most beautiful frame that they could be.
Mhm.
the most beautiful support system they could be.
Mhm.
You know, um, then you can rest and be the picture you're supposed to be.
Right.
Now, don't get on your high horse, Jay, and start thinking that because you the picture, oh, you
Mhm.
ain't nothing but a frame.
Right. Right.
No, 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 no. It's
Both
because
need
of the
each other.
frame.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yep.
because of the frame that makes you the picture have some
Mhm.
significance. And I'll tell you what, if you don't want this beautiful design frame of confidence that I am, you
Mhm.
well go and get you another frame, and I'll bet you the frame you get gonna come from the dollar store. And then you won't be mad again. Because
Got
because
that Dollar
because
Tree boy.
yeah, because look, Jay, because the confident frame don't
Mhm.
come often. The
No.
beautiful, expensive frame that's
Mhm.
just right,
Mhm.
it don't come that often. So don't get too shiny,
Yeah.
thinking just because you the picture that I can have any old kind of frame. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it may not be what you think.
Yo, that's real. That's real. And we got to talk about, well, we've talked about the man's part, why they want and cannot resist the feminine woman. But I think we
Mm.
will be totally lacking before we
Mhm.
close things out to not address what are feminine qualities? What characteristics
Mm.
can a woman exude femininity through? Can we speak to that? What characteristics and qualities allow a woman to be feminine?
Are we Jay? Are we talking about physical or emotional?
Let's talk.
Like what
Let's
we
talk
what we
about as
talking
many
about?
as many as we can fit into the next few minutes.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. Good.
we want to
Look.
give we want to give the women as much as we can.
Look. This is a funny one, but it's still a true one. Jay, one of the videos I shot talked about.
Mhm.
There's a scent that drives men wild. That works. It just works, and it's
Mhm.
very attractive for on a feminine woman, right? And
Okay.
that the scent is vanilla. The top
Mm,
scent of all the scents that are most attractive to men is vanilla.
yeah.
I talked about this one time. I had one of my clients. She went and tested it out. Went down to
Mhm.
the Dollar General and found some vanilla. Put it on and went to work, and the men went wild after her after her scent. And to me, I said it has to do with the two things that men love the most. They
Mhm.
love eating, and they love sex. So if you
Mhm.
smell like a cupcake, you better watch out.
Right. Nah, that's real. That's real. So we got the sense. So that takes
Got
care
the
of
scent.
one of the senses.
Yes,
Give us another one.
the eyes. Listen,
Mhm.
somebody might not want to hear this, but we got to say it. A
Mhm.
fit body is a
Yeah.
the body that attracts men the most. A fit
Mhm.
body is a sexy body. Take care of your health. Get as
Mhm.
fit as you can be. I'm not telling you
Right.
to be no size two, right?
Thank you. Like you ain't got to be a bodybuilder or a
No,
fitness model, right?
no, no.
Yeah.
But you can do better than you're doing right now, right? So get as fit as you can, because when I'm talking to the men and I'm listening to what they're saying, the
Mhm.
women that they are most attractive to is the women who are the most fit.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
and
Okay.
everybody, I don't care who you are, all of us can
Mhm.
do a little bit better.
That's real. That's real. Okay, so we got the nose, the eyes. Now let's talk about the ears. Like what's attractive to a man and what's
Oh
a feminine
man,
quality that a woman can bring that tickles his ears?
yeah, I love this one. I love this one. Listening,
Right.
listening, and
Mhm.
not just listening. Oh, I heard you. No, listen.
Mhm.
If this man, and here's something that sometimes women don't know, is that
Mhm.
men are intimately connected to building that their work, whatever they're doing. Jay,
Mhm.
if you're the woman in your life, right? If she
Mhm.
came in here and said, "Oh, Jay, that chair, that you know what, babe, you deserve it, but you need a better chair. You getting ready to be go viral, and I don't want nobody seeing you in that chair looking all raggedy, right? Let me go. I was in the store the other day,
Mhm.
and I saw this chair.
Mm.
And I think this chair would be perfect for your image, perfect for what
Mhm.
you're doing. So Jay, what did I say this was? I said
Mhm.
listening.
Right.
Did you ask for the chair?
Nope.
No. But
Nope.
she's listening and she's
Mhm.
hearing what you're not saying.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
and she's listening for how she can add value to
Mhm.
your life.
Yeah. And
That right there, buddy.
and is it fair to say that women should start at the things that men do say? Right, right. Like you're on the next level when you can start hearing what he don't say. But like, I think a great starting point is if he is communicating verbally,
Mhm.
definitely start there because he's telling you exactly what he wants. And men, we often do tend to be direct, when you look at,
Yeah.
the majority of men. But nah,
Yeah.
I'm with you. When a woman can tap into what a man is not saying, that definitely
Mhm.
exudes some feminine energy for sure. For sure.
Man,
So
it takes skillful hearing for that.
yes,
You got to be
yes.
skillful at hearing,
Yeah.
not just like no, 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 no. Sometimes it's just listening,
Right.
and you can hear it.
That's right. So we got the ears, we got the eyes, we got the nose. Let's talk about the mouth.
Oh, it's what you say. Look,
Facts.
what was that scripture? Is not what comes out of a man, not what goes
That
into a
defiles it.
man
Yeah,
that
it's not what
defiles a
goes into
man.
him, it was what
It's what
comes out.
comes out. Like what are you saying?
Mhm,
Like we live in a time where women cuss like that, you used to say cuss like a
yeah,
sailor, right?
right, right.
Once upon a time, women didn't cuss like a sailor. Once upon a time, when men was cussing, they would stop cussing when women was in the room, right?
Mhm, mhm,
And it put women on a place of honor and
mhm,
respect because
mhm,
we changed our language.
mhm,
So if you cuss like
mhm,
like crazy, then well we'll just go ahead and lower you back down because you're not worthy of honor
mm,
if
mm,
if if your language is like my language, right?
mhm,
So the
mhm,
best thing a feminine woman can do is remain as on the level of honor. Like
mhm,
give him
mhm,
reasons to honor you
mhm.
and watch your negative tone, your
Right,
language, the things you say,
facts.
how you say it, right?
Mhm, mhm.
I'm telling you. Now somebody gonna say this is all too much. Why we have to do all of this stuff? I'm telling you, you don't have to do any of this.
Right, right.
Just don't cry when you don't get the results of
Mhm.
that the women who do.
Right. Right. The 10%, like I said, the 10%, they keyed in, they taking notes the whole time you've been talking, Kelvin. You've been dropping so many gems. They've been taking notes. They ready to go apply some of this stuff already. We got one more sense left. Touch. How,
Touch.
what quality, what characteristic is
Oh
feminine when it
man.
comes to the touch?
Listen, there's nothing better than the touch of a feminine woman.
Right.
Listen, there's nothing more powerful. I teach some of my clients that
Mm-hmm.
accidental touch when you just in conversation and hey, could you? Yeah, I was thinking, no, 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 right? It's that
Mm-hmm.
accidental touch. Um, he'll be stuck in his head for the rest of the day, right? It's powerful, it's subtle, right? Touch, kind of finding reason. If you're attracted to a man, you find reason to touch
Mm-hmm.
his arm, touch his shoulder. Always be appropriate with your touch.
Right. That right there. I'm glad you said it.
Hey Jay, Jay,
Above the belt,
above the
above the waist.
bell.
Keep it above the belt.
Jay, I was at an event that I
Uh-huh.
was hosting, and I was talking, and I had a group of people sitting there listening, and this
Mhm.
lady reached over and leaned in with with her hand on my knee, and I was like,
Oh, uh-oh.
"Ma'am,"
Right.
I was like, "Ma'am."
Ma'am, like, I'm a
Yeah,
married man, you
but
see this ring on my finger?
right. So yeah, be careful of the touch, but touch is
Right.
powerful. Touch
Nah,
is
that's
powerful.
good, that's good. So, what is it? Like, if you had to boil it down to maybe 1 or 2 things men
Mhm.
can't resist at all about a
Man,
feminine woman, what are they?
man, how she shows up and
Mm,
how she speaks to him
mm,
when she shows up.
right.
I'm telling you. So
Mm,
so don't go to the grocery store with your hair all in a bonnet and
mhm,
all of that. Not if you're desiring to be attractive to the
mhm,
man that you desire. right? Because you
Right.
don't know where you're going to see him. I got one
Right.
lady, she met the guy at
Mhm.
Bible study. They go to one of
Mm.
these big old churches where
Mhm.
the preacher, the guy, the teacher says, "Hey, can somebody read the scripture?" She stood up.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll read it up front, and she read the scripture. And
Mhm.
behind, way back in the back, was this brother who was divorced, and he was like, "Man," and he said, "I heard the Lord say, that's your wife,"
Wow.
right?
Wow.
And now he was like, "No, Lord, no, because I ain't, it didn't go that well the first time, right?"
Okay.
But he came back to Bible study again, and the teacher said, "Who would
Mhm.
like to read?" She said, "I would." So
Mm.
she stood up and read again. He was like, "You know what? I ain't letting
Mhm.
her get away this time." And
Wow.
boom, they
Wow.
together now. And now she was looking good. She was she
Mhm.
she came out. She was presenting herself
Mhm.
well, right, and
Mhm.
expecting. Look, this is powerful, man.
That right there, bro. That right.
Expecting,
Speak on it, Kelvin, please.
living in expectation that
Yes.
that my time is coming, so I'm getting
Mhm.
prepared. I'm
Mhm.
gonna look good. I'm gonna smell good. I'm not going out the house looking all raggedy because
Right.
I'm expecting
Mhm.
to find he's going to find me. I'm going to find him. We're gonna find each other, and then we're gonna find love. And I'm
Right.
telling you, it's amazing the way it happens.
Mhm.
It's
It
amazing the way it
is. It
happens.
is. Wow, that's amazing. So, is there a second reason why men can't resist the feminine
Yeah,
woman?
yeah. So I said physical, and then what was that? What did I say? I think I said
So no,
physical.
we went through the five senses,
Okay,
right?
okay,
And then you
okay.
were just letting us know about how a woman can show up. And honestly, now that I think about it, you did give us the two because you said it's how she shows up, her appearance, how she's looking, and then how
Mhm.
she's speaking. So
How
I
she's
take that
speaking.
back. My bad. You did give us the two. You
Yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah.
So with that
Looking
being
good
said,
and speaking good. I'm telling you,
right.
it's
Looking
powerful.
good and speaking good. Yeah. And like you mentioned, expecting it. That is vitally important. Women, as you mentioned, when you go out, look good, right? Look presentable. It don't mean
Mhm.
that you got to be glammed up, ready for the red carpet every time you step out of the building. But when
Mhm.
you walk out, you should walk out with the confidence that you look good. Men
Yes.
will see you. Men will be
Mhm.
attracted to the way you looking. So I just wanted
Yes.
to point that out before I give you my very last question, man, which is what are the benefits to women by operating in their
Mm.
femininity, being a more
Oh
feminine woman?
man.
How does it benefit them?
Oh, I want to speak on this question every time somebody comes back up on. Well, how come? No, listen. When I'm giving these clues, bro,
Mhm.
they want to know why you talking to us, and you need to be talking to the men and teaching the men this and teaching the men that. Listen, I'm teaching you, and you gonna teach them,
Mm.
right? When you are more feminine, he pays attention to you. Look, he gonna pay more attention to you than he gonna pay attention to me, right?
Mhm.
When you know
Mhm.
how to express your femininity, when you know how to receive and not be argumentative, when you
Mhm.
understand how to position yourself as somebody special. Look, these guys I talk to, I ask them, look, why did you choose this woman above all the others? They'll say something
Mm.
like, there was something about her. She was special.
Mhm.
She was unique, and I could just see how she would add value to my life, and I ain't want to let her go. Right?
Wow. Mhm.
I'm telling you, it's powerful. It's so simple. It's these little simple things that you loving yourself,
That right there.
because really that's what this game is, Jay.
Mhm.
The more you love and invest in yourself,
Right.
invest in your femininity. Find
Mhm.
all things beautiful and invest in them.
Yes.
Find if you love shoes, find beautiful shoes. Find
Mhm.
beautiful, I don't know, whatever it is you wear.
Dresses, bags, whatever
Dresses,
gets her off.
right? Right? All things. Look, type the word "what is beautiful"
Mm.
about whatever it is that you into, and just immerse yourself in all things beautiful. How do you
Right.
speak beautifully?
Mhm.
How do you project beautifully? How do you walk beautifully?
Right.
Yeah, Jay, this ain't for everybody. It's like you said, it's for the 10%, but that
Yeah.
10% is gonna get the
Mhm.
10% of quality men that all these
Right.
other women want. That
Right.
10%, he's coming for the woman that we talking about right now.
Right. Right. Oh man, amazing. Kelvin, this has been such an honor and a pleasure. Before we go, I just want to hand the mic over to you. Are there any questions you'd like to ask me before we wrap up, or any last or closing words you want to leave the ladies with?
Oh man, listen, I want to say to everybody, to all of us, that life is short and unpredictable, right?
Hmm.
You have to live and love your life right now.
Right.
I'm living and loving talking to you, knowing that we're gonna reach who knows who for
Right.
many years to come, right? Because these
Yes.
that's what I love about YouTube system. Like
Hmm.
6 years from now, this video might come up, and somebody
Right.
might type in femininity or whatever, and they'll
Yep.
hear this conversation when we've long forgotten about it. But
Mm.
invest in you, loving you,
Mhm.
it makes you more attractive. There's nothing. There's no lipstick. There's no heels. There's no outfit. There's no hairdo. That's
Mhm.
more beautiful than you.
Right.
So invest in yourself. Invest in those all things beautiful. And I'm telling
Mhm.
you, that is a life worth living when you love the life that God has given you. So,
Most
Jay, I
definitely.
appreciate you having me here
Yo,
on your show, brother.
thank you, Kelvin. Keep up the amazing work. Definitely let us all know how we can show you some love and support. Let them know where your YouTube is, how they can support you. Definitely let them know.
Yes. So you guys can follow me on YouTube. Type in the Love Coach. I am the Love Coach here on YouTube as well. Follow me on all the other platforms, specifically TikTok. I'm running up on TikTok. Kelvin Troy Johnson on TikTok. You guys put me in, and if you are in need of a love coach session, you can shoot me an email at lovecoachatlanta@gmail.com. I'll definitely set you up. We'll see if you are ready to work. It ain't free, but it but yes, it's not free, but I'm telling you, it's going to free you and help you
Mm,
to get what you need. And I'm so happy to do it. So thank you,
wow.
Jay.
Man, thank you, Kelvin. I'm gonna have the link to your YouTube as well as your TikTok and how they can go get a free or not a free session. Oh, see, look at me. I slipped you the word. Not a free
Yeah, yeah.
session, not a free session, but now a session that will free you. I'll have that link in the
Yeah,
description
yeah,
as
yeah.
well for you
Not
guys
a
to
free
go and check
session,
it out.
but a session
Session
that
that
will
will
free
free you.
you. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
that, man.
Hey,
Yo,
hey, you know
Kelvin,
what, Jay? Look, I got one
yes,
more thing that I want to offer
always,
too.
please.
I got a low cost. I just started
Mhm.
something called the Love Coach Zoom Room, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
$7 for right now
Mhm.
for the month of February.
Okay.
$7 a month to be
Okay.
in a digital group coaching session that I do on
Mm,
Saturdays at 12
okay.
o'clock. So if you're interested in that, go to Love Coach Zoom Room right now, and it's on lovecoachzoomroom.com, and $7.
Okay.
You get me answering your specific questions on dating, relationships, and love in a group
Mhm.
setting. $7 gets you in. So if you don't, and look, and if you need a strategy, then we
Mhm.
go a little higher. So we,
That's
we get
real.
the we get the other one. So
That's
thank
real.
you,
I'm gonna
Jay.
have a link. I appreciate that so much. Kelvin, definitely would love to have you come back on. You got an open invitation anytime you want to hop back on and
My
be a
man.
guest on the podcast. Thank you again for everything that you share with us. It's truly been an honor speaking with you. I truly appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.